fun. Boy, I got a bump way, not fun. Boy, I got a bump way, not fun. Boy, I got a bump way, not fun. Okay, now drop your bag, sass. I've been here from the start. A little snapback, homie, with a plug in his heart. Took these Billy Strum cards and now they rip me apart. Now they run around in circles like them kids in the park. Not afraid of the dark, there ain't no monster inside. I pray to Jesus Christ, homie, they just keep me alive. Why you keep it 53? Cause I've been wrestling with...
It's week 16 of the National Football League. And up next is the Texans' superstar running back. He's the NFL's ultimate red zone back and your leader in rushing touchdowns. It's the Texans and the Rams. All that and more coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league, now in his 5th year at quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Hand off to Spears. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Up the middle they go. Lane. Fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. You talk about this Rams defense. And they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
7 yards there, a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They'll run on first down. It's Lane. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground. And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And this one is right through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. Now, he's had a knack for finding the end zone all season long. His numbers reflect that. Here we are in the month of December, and he sits atop the NFL leaderboard in terms of rushing touchdowns. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point forthcoming. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time.
So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll start on the ground with Spears.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Hey, look at the defense for these Texans.
Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
This is taken at about the 14.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Texans will take over.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Well, what a season it's been for them, Charles. They have already, with 3 weeks left before the playoffs, clinched that #1 overall seed. And, of course, what comes with that is the first-round bye.
It's not just that open week that they've clinched. They've also clinched their status as a heavy favorite to represent their conference in the Super Bowl. So all these other teams are going to have to play it out, jockey around, and try and get into the playoffs. What they have to decide is how much do they play their key players down the stretch in order to be ready to go when the playoff games begin.
Second and 15. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, it's Lane.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Back to throw now on first down.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
That is caught downfield. It's Worthy.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Xavier Worthy
with career touchdown number 126, the same number Jim Brown had during his 9-year career. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Texans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. $17-0 our score after one. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Houston. Already at the line, set to get going. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Complete here. It's high. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2nd and 11 now. They'll set up to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone as he's got a 1st down on that last catch. They'll run on 1st down. It's Lane, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Lane. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And his kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense has been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. They're going to look to throw. And it is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still 3,000 yards, a good season.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 9.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
The Texans offense and Xavier Worthy set to take over once more. And he's been a tough guy to contain this year, and his numbers reflect that, as you can see right here.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
He finds his man complete. That's Lane. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. They'll look to throw here. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Texans continue to pull away here in this 1st half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Now the Rams going to take over late in this 1st half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Josh Downs, 70 yards. And the Rams are on the board here in the final minute of the 1st half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Texans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change. So I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Rams are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have reached halftime here.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the 2nd half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And they'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
A gain of 15. And the Texans first down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Rams are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Back to throw here. Connecting over the middle with Downs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd and 4. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the try here for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible.
I think I'm ready for kids. He said when they stop trying to interface. That makes sense. I'm going up past LA bricks. I'm going off the fence. They switching me and my team go back like plastic cup boys.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
He'll drop to throw. He'll let one go deep for downs. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for L.A. 53 yards.
Well, he already had a big receiving game working, and it's going to get a lot better here. Defensively, they're fortunate this is not a touchdown. But he's just been absolutely unstoppable, and he comes up with yet another gigantic play.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
It's a loss of 8. Brings us 2nd and 18 at the 34-yard line.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now this taken in by Downs. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll try the left side. Lane. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball on the run.
And got his man complete. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Texans are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll set up a throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Down the left sideline. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. Well, with 3 weeks left, they are in one of those 3 wild card spots, Charles, but that spot is not clinched, and there's not a ton of breathing room for them, so the bottom line, they just need to focus on winning right now.
Yeah, they totally have their eyes open, don't they? They know they've got teams trying to run them down. They can hear their footsteps. The question coaches ask guys in the locker room, do you have another gear left to pull away and lock in that playoff spot? If so, let's hit it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So nothing doing there, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The offense on third down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to wind up and air it out. And now here is another interception. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
A gain of 26 yards. First down, Texans.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Lane.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on the
pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll take it at the 42. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
On 3rd down, it's Lane. And this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second.
I came in nothing but them raps, the clothes on my back, them L-dogs, nothing but them blacks, the A, with a black man is debonair. I'm talking about a black man's heaven here. Shorty, we going where the destination is manifested. We learn how to collect reparations and invest it. I went from dressing the coldest to catching the COVID, to blessed with success to promote it, to just
Yeah, buddy, you ready or not? Don't really care if you was or you wasn't LeBron. From now on, I'm calling the shots. I don't really care about your hating little dad.